So now let me talk a little bit about the second mindfulness concept that I want to talk about, and that's mindful consumption and how that relates so wonderfully to green building and particularly straw bale construction. So this is my first straw bale project. I've never done one before. And when I first met Mike and Rebecca about a year ago and I saw the first straw bale building, I have to say, as a building professional, I was a little bit skeptical, right? I mean, we've all heard the story of the three little pigs and what happened with their straw bale house, right? So, you know, and you look around here, we're obviously in a high fire risk area, and I'm thinking, why would you build out of straw? You know, it's going to, the first flame, they're going to go up in flames. What I want to talk about is, for me, the three amazing things that happen when you build out of straw bale. The first is that the whole materials that you use change, right? It starts with the straw bale, but the straw bale is just the catalyst to change everything else within these buildings. There's no gypsum sheetrock on the interior walls. There's no Portland cement on the outside. Obviously no fiberglass insulation in between the walls. When you go through these buildings, you'll see there's no ductwork. There's no air registers because you really don't need that kind of ventilation here. There's no paint on the walls. So you've done a couple of things. First off, you know, you're building your buildings out of straw and dirt. If you look at mindful consumption and recognize that you take only what you need and only what you use, how much of a lighter footprint that you make by building homes out of straw and earth and not have all of these man-made materials that take a lot of energy to make them, to transport them here and all of that. And then, and Rebecca will speak more about this, is also has health benefits as well, and how living in these structures are much more healthy. Now, the second thing that straw bale does that is also, I think, amazing is it changes the way that we build these buildings. You know, straw bale is not an overly technical process. Although you're going to find out today, it's not just like stacking straw on top of each other. The difference is that you can do what we've done today. You can bring the community out and invite them to participate in building your home. Drew Hubble calls it like an Amish barn raising, right? Where the community gets together and builds these buildings. So, you know, when each of you leave today, you'll leave with the knowledge that you actually, your mindful hands created a lasting presence here at the monastery, right? You were part of building the nuns' residences here. So the third thing that straw bale does, and this is the part that I found the most amazing and when I entered my first room with straw bale, is the space that it creates. I believe that when you enter a room that's constructed of straw and covered with earth and clay plaster, at some primordial level, your body senses that. You know, you walk into this room and your body just knows from your ancestors, from thousands of years, we've lived among these natural materials. And your body just relaxes. You know, it doesn't need to be on alert. It's not smelling strange things. And your body just relaxes. And then Hubble and Hubble have gone beyond that because in the way that they've designed these buildings. Nature doesn't design with straight walls and 90-degree angles, and neither do Hubble and Hubble. So if you look at these buildings, not only are they situated in a circle, but the walls are actually curved. All of the front and back walls are curved. The roofs aren't flat, they're sloping. So when you go into these spaces, even today without all the straw in, they'll just feel natural to you. They'll feel like a natural space. And it's because of that spacing and that sizing that Hubble and Hubble have done. So what that creates is that, you know, the straw bale and the earth and clay creates this very peaceful, quiet atmosphere. And then the straw bale, the super insulation, creates this just amazingly quiet rooms, this solidity and this stillness that you feel when you enter a straw bale room. And you know, I can't think of a better context for a community here that practices meditation and mindfulness than to be able to live inside of these straw bale structures.